we've got rains and storms battering the southeast at the moment. How does it look outside?
Well, good morning. Look, on the Gold Coast, we've had a thunderstorm already come over this morning. Very heavy rain, still raining at the moment now. So whilst we had a bit of sunshine here yesterday and things had started to dry out, floodwaters recede a little bit, we're back on alert now with thunderstorms already coming through and more predicted with major hail coming through. So it's far from over in southeast Queensland.
The Treasurer mentioned that more federal assistance would be on the way for those caught up in it. The Gold Coast, though, seems to be missing from state government flood grants as far as I can see. Are you perplexed by that?
Well, the Gold Coast is a significant city in Queensland and Australia, clearly. So I would want to make sure that the Gold Coast is being supported. So federally, we have stepped in with disaster recovery payments and allowances. That money is starting to flow across the east coast of Australia already, which is great news. But yes, certainly I don't want the southeast Queensland and the Gold Coast in particular ignored by the state government. Now, I'm hoping that's not going to be the case and they will step in, because I was out yesterday talking to people in my electorate that have been really quite badly hit. So residents who have had their homes absolutely flooded, businesses that have had water come through like they've never seen before. So it is a very desperate situation here.
Now you've got that desperate situation extending to supply chain issues. What's being done to get around that?
So we have the ADF who have done a fantastic job. They will be able to step in the event that there's difficulties with getting emergency supplies where towns perhaps have been cut off. We're keeping a very close eye on supply chains to make sure that things such as food and groceries won't be impacted by roads being cut and rail not happening. So we're very conscious of the impacts of that right up and down the east coast of Australia. So a couple of days ago, I was travelling with the Prime Minister, and we did actually go to Emergency Management Australia in Canberra. We spoke to them about supply chain issues, how that was going to be managed. At this point in time, we are very, very closely monitoring the situation, but the ADF is ready to step in as and when required.
Okay, so how long do you expect these supply chain issues to last for? Because, I mean, it's not just areas that are isolated, that are caught up in the flooding. It extends to places that aren't caught up in the flooding at the moment because, products can't get through.
Absolutely. Look, the critical time for us will be until the weekend, but it's not going to be resolved at that point because there will be the aftermath of the flooding. So critical time is now through till Sunday, but we will continue to monitor beyond that and do all that we can to make sure that emergency supplies are getting through, that people are being rescued from any danger that they are in. And we've seen the vision of what's happening in Lismore now. They're moving to clean up, but we've seen the images of people who have had to be rescued from roofs. So the ADF, our emergency services, have done a fantastic job and they will continue to do that.
Just a couple of points on Ukraine. Have our cyber defence teams picked up any new attacks lately?
The short answer to that is no, but we are absolutely prepared. But we're also providing advice to industry and individuals, and I do encourage everyone to look at the ACSC website, so cyber.gov.au. There are a number of alerts on there. There's information about what you need to do to make sure that you are taking an enhanced cybersecurity posture. That is really important. We are aware of malware that is circulating, so we really want people to be alert and make sure that they have in place that enhanced cybersecurity posture.
There is a European refugee crisis that now is in the early stages of emerging outside of Ukraine. Are we going to increase our intake? I know there's been some announcements lately, but given that it's probably going to be worse than first thought, will we increase our intake, and how would you go about selecting that?
Well, a couple of things on that. So we've certainly stepped up and made sure that we are processing the visa applications that are coming through. There is an increasing number of those, as you would imagine. We're very much aware of people who are leaving Ukraine and going into neighbouring nations. Now, that is primarily women and children, because 18 to 60-year-old males are required to stay in Ukraine. So we're aware that those people who have evacuated over the border will most likely seek to return to Ukraine as soon as they possibly can. Now, we will certainly be open to providing humanitarian support. We've already offered that support. We have committed millions of dollars to that support now. But yes, we will be very mindful of the humanitarian impacts and what we need to do as a nation to support those in the Ukraine who have been displaced. Hopefully not permanently. Hopefully they will be able to return to their country, which is what most in fact, will want to do.
Well, it's a similar model to that which was done to Kosovo years ago.
Look, it is, and we will be providing the support that we can, and that is needed. We know that many of the refugees who have gone across the border, those people who have been displaced, are in Poland at the moment. We will continue to work with humanitarian organisations to provide support, along with many other nations.
Have you got a number in mind at all, and how many we would take?
Look, we're not at that point really at the moment, simply because these people are most likely going to want to return home. Families have been separated, so there's issues with how we will manage that, because we certainly don't want to separate families, and we know that people want to return to Ukraine. So that will be the focus of our support.
Okay, Karen Andrews, the Home Affairs Minister, thank you for your time this morning.